from about an hour ago. Here we go.
Okay, I think first and foremost, I have to let the guards at this facility know that this is not a live stream and this is not a third-party phone call. I'm a journalist giving a report to another journalist, which is clearly outlined and allowed in the CCDC handbook. Today is April 8th, 2024. My name is Chille Castro. I am a journalist who has been jailed for filming a cop. I did have a good day in court, and I was sentenced to 6 months in jail. I have not broken the law. I've committed no criminal or malicious acts. I'm an innocent man in the Clark County Detention Center for being a journalist. So with that being said, what's upcoming right now on Wednesday, the 10th of April, is an appeal bond hearing to see if I can be released on appeal while I appeal the case to the Nevada State Supreme Court. I think that the case most definitely will be overturned. As you have seen, Brian from Here's the Deal has broken down my video evidence, and I definitely backed up. I'm not guilty of obstruction, but I wanted to talk today about the reasons why I shouldn't be released on appeal bond. So I wrote down 15 reasons, and I'll just list them to you guys so that you guys can have an understanding of what my lawyer is going to argue on Wednesday. Remember, this is not re-adjudicating the case about whether or not I backed up or whether or not I obstructed. This is about whether or not I'm worthy to be released on an appeal bond while my case is being appealed. And that appeal bond is going to cost between $10,000 and $20,000. So, as humbly as I can ask, please go to my GoFundMe, and if you can put in $5 or $10, I really appreciate it, because my website was down all week for 7 days now, so I haven't sold any products. I'm going to lower the hoodies to $50. You can get them by using PayPal. I'm just trying to make sure I have enough money for the appeal bond that I'm going to get on Wednesday, and here are the reasons why I should get that appeal bond. Number one, I have no criminal record. This is a first-time offense. There's no criminality in my past, so that's the first one. Number two, on this case, there's no victim. There's no damages. There's no restitution due. Number three, I've been jailed for almost a month, and there is no victim of a crime. I'm a journalist. So number four, my specific job is to be a First Amendment auditor. I do on-the-street reporting. I have regular face-to-face interactions with police, so they're going to call it police touches. Well, I have them week in and week out. Number five, I had 6 full-time employees, and now I have 5. I had to let one go last week, and I'll have to let another one go this week if my website doesn't get back online. So my life and my company and my business should not be destroyed over a first-time misdemeanor. Number 6, the DA asked for a suspended sentence because I have no criminal record, and this is a first-time offense. Number 7, I have no history of violence in my past of any kind ever. There's been no 911 calls on me. There's been no hospital bills. I've never hurt anybody ever. Number 8, my entire family lives here in Las Vegas. I have deep ties to the community, where I also assist in coaching youth wrestlers. Number 9, as a First Amendment auditor, I have over 500 face-to-face interactions with police in over 20 states. So this is what I do. Number 10, I have a warrant in Ohio for trespassing during a peaceful protest. However, I ran out of money when in Ohio. I had to leave and come back to Vegas. However, I've hired an attorney in Ohio, and we're finally getting that warrant in Ohio handled. Number 11, I have a hearing coming in Good Springs, Nevada, for a U-turn ticket. The ticket was a retaliatory ticket after I pulled over to discuss First Amendment rights with the police. I've already paid the fee to fight the ticket that happens on April 23rd. Not a criminal act, it's a U-turn ticket. But the DA brought it up, so I want to reference it. Number 12, I have an audience of millions of people who I regularly teach to be nonviolent and to flex our First Amendment right to assembly, speech, petition, and press. And number 13, I am innocent until proven guilty, because I have another upcoming case on May 1st in Las Vegas for obstructing, and I'm not guilty of that case just because I've been charged. They brought it up as though, oh, he has another case coming up. Well, I'm innocent until proven guilty. So it doesn't matter if I've been charged with something. I've been charged with things lots of times in my life, but I don't have a criminal record besides when I was a teenager. So those are the reasons why I believe that the appeal bond should be approved on Wednesday at 9 a.m. in the Justice Court in front of Judge Levitt.
People are asking what the hang up is on putting money on your account, like for buying you a meal or whatever. Right now, apparently on their website, they're saying that they can't accept that right now.
So I was put in the hole for live streaming a phone call with another journalist named Brian from Here's the Deal. And it doesn't say in the CCDC handbook that there's no live streaming. It says no third-party calls, and it says no misuse of the phone. But I'm not a psychic reader, and with all respect to the guards and to the staff here, you can't expect me to be a psychic and know that I can't live stream the call. Well, when I was put in the hole for 7 days, I only served 5, and then the hole got too full, so they let me out. And then they suspended my commissary for 7 days. If you want to do anything for me, please donate to my GoFundMe or my PayPal, Cash App, or Zelle, or Venmo, because when we get that appeal bond on Wednesday, it's probably going to be $20,000. And I don't know how long those GoFundMes take to cash out. I don't know, but I'm just absolute, my anxiety, is, if I don't win that appeal bond, if we don't win the appeal bond on Wednesday, then I'll be in jail until July, until the Nevada State Supreme Court hears the case, or until the writ of habeas corpus is fully heard. So I'm very, very nervous. And if you want to do anything, please just donate $5 or $10. If, whatever you have to donate if you can. And I know you guys have put in so much. I know that there's literally thousands of people rooting for me, and I'm nervous. I'm definitely nervous. I'm not sleeping very much. I'm sleeping, a couple hours here, a couple hours there, and I keep waking up dreaming that my appeal bond went one way or the other, and I keep dreaming about my dog. And a very special friend to me gave me a quote the other day, and they said, from Nelson Mandela, when I left that jail, I left behind all the bitterness, resentment, and anger right there at those jail doors, because if I had not left them behind there, I would still be in prison today. And that's my mentality as well. I'm gonna get out of here, and I'm gonna leave all this behind. I'm gonna forgive, and I've needed to forgive some people for a long time because I was holding on to grudges, and I need to forgive some people, and I need to move forward, and I'm gonna forgive this, and I'm gonna move forward, and I'm gonna work on getting that NRS code removed that puts people who have misdemeanors in lockdown for 23 hours in a solitary confinement cell. You get a bunkmate, but it's hell. It's total hell. So that's what I'm gonna work on getting done. I'm gonna work on positive change, and I'm gonna leave this bitter anger and resentment behind right here at the doors the moment they close behind me, and I'm free again. I get to hold my dog and wrestle with my nephews and have dinner with my family,
Yeah, because that's my question is, if you are innocent and you haven't created a victim, how many other people are locked up behind bars who haven't created victims? There are a lot of people in prison right now and in jails all across the country that haven't committed a crime yet. They're behind bars.
Yeah, there are a lot of people in here who have completely victimless crimes. There's a guy less than 25 feet away from me. He's 20 feet away from me. He got pulled over, and he had a blunt. He had a blunt behind his ear. And when he got pulled over, he was completely sober, but they confiscated the blunt, and they gave him a DUI, and he's in here for DUI. There are about 10 men in here for domestic violence, and I've asked all of them what happened, and some of them said, she called 911 and I went to jail. A couple of them told me we got in a pushing match and she called 911 and I went to jail. One of them told me I smacked my wife. So I don't endorse smacking your wife, that's for damn sure. And then there are people in here who have misdemeanor cases that have been in here for weeks and weeks and weeks. I don't know what the cash cow system is here, but I do wonder, I'm sure Brian could find out the information. I wonder how much it is to put a person, a human being. I don't call these people inmates. I call these people humans. I wonder how much it is to put a human in a bed here in the Clark County Detention Center. Yesterday in the Las Vegas Sun, there's a huge front page article that says the CDC is not reporting deaths to the city council and to the commissioners like they're supposed to do. And there's no teeth to enforce the law that was passed at the legislature. So that's scary as hell. But I hope and pray that I can just survive this. That's just survive this and pray for Wednesday. And
yeah, well, that's pretty shifty to me. I mean, there's no desire for accountability or transparency. Anything goes, and the sky's the limit. And all you got to do is follow the money. If there's a money trail, and if they're hiding it, that's pretty bad.
Well, I don't think that the guards are actually killing people because there's cameras on all the sergeants. So I think the way people are dying is the lack of giving them their medication. I think that's the number one way people are dying in here. I think people are dying in here from heart attacks and strokes. Remember, when I came in, they checked my blood pressure. You guys all know I got my blood pressure down to 135/85 consistently, day in and day out. Sometimes it was 132. A couple times it was 120/85/82. I got my blood pressure down by exercise, cutting salt, quitting caffeine, not having any sort of anything that could be bad for me. I cut sugar the most I could. Of course, I failed with the cookies now and then, but I got my blood pressure all the way down. When I came in, my blood pressure was 190/110 again. But no, I'm sorry, I think it was 180/100. Well, sorry, it was 180/99. That's what my blood pressure was when I came in. Because I do so many blood pressure readings, sometimes I get a little confused. And so the nurse looked at it and said, "You're 180/99. She said, "You have high blood pressure." I said, "Well, I used to." And then she said, "Well, that's not so bad considering the circumstances." So then it just made me realize, that what you're doing to people stresses them out to stroke levels or heart attack levels. And for some reason, everybody here is okay with it. Everybody is okay with what you're doing here. Now, I've written out 25 pages by hand of my interpretation of segregation over incarceration, because we spend $49 billion a year on incarceration, and over 50% of people recidivate and come back to jail. Could you imagine sending your dog to a dog training school, and then it comes back and it bites even more people? And when people get out and they recidivate, what does that mean? That means that you, your family, your brother, your sister...
You have 1 minute left.
...is a victim of the person who recidivates. I don't know if that's the proper pronunciation, but you know what I'm talking about. So I wrote a 25-page essay on it yesterday on segregation over incarceration. And it's very in-depth. I'm going to publish the book when I get out of here. I've taken hundreds of perspectives that I think could make a system that doesn't have recidivation, where there's no more victims of crime.